We're here back in the Fantasy Bar. Week 12 is here. 6 of my favorite plays ready for you to go on FanDuel and DraftKings, including my favorite value play on the entire slate, who's in a great spot. A quarterback pass catcher pairing I am eyeing up here for week 12. We're going to give you a game stack I'm looking at as well. Some running backs I think smash, including an old timer that generally gets it going late in the season. And of course, my favorite play on the entire slate. Who we talking about? Time to belly up to the Fantasy Bar. Welcome in, guys. Week 12 edition Beers Daily Fantasy Six-Pack talking NFL main slate on Sunday. Hope everybody out there had a great Thanksgiving and a successful Thanksgiving slate. 6 plays ready for you to go on FanDuel and DraftKings. Thank you, as always, for stopping by and checking out the video. Before we get into the plays, first thing, most important thing, click that thumbs up button. That's the tip jar on this free video. Subscribe to the channel as well. And check out our props and pick'em package over at RotoGrinders.com for a limited time. Normally $49.99. You're getting your first month for $9.99. Click that link in the description of the video to find out more. All right, let's get in to the Week 12 plays here. Let's start at running back with Keren Williams of the Rams. So Keren looking like he's going to be back in action this weekend, and I want him back in action in my lineups here, coming off injured reserve. A lot of people going to take a wait-and-see approach. Are they going to ease him in? These are situations I want to be aggressive with Keren Williams. We saw this exact matchup right before he went on IR, 158 rushing yards and a touchdown against this Arizona team. Season high for him in rushing yards, and it makes sense. Arizona has really struggled against the running back position. Bottom 3 in rushing yards allowed, rushing touchdowns allowed, and of course, fantasy points allowed. I think Keren steps right back into this Rams lineup and smashes here in week 12. All right, let's go to the other side of that game. I really like this spot for quarterback Kyler Murray. So tough slate here for quarterbacks. You got some guys on the high end, of course, Mahomes, Hurts, Allen. I think that's where a lot of people are going to end up here, but I like the discount here on Kyler Murray. I think you get a very similar ceiling to what those guys can give you. Now, we haven't seen that ceiling yet this year, but we know it's there. We got nice production out of him to start the season here. 20.5 DraftKings points per game, rushing touchdown in each of those games. So we get a solid floor here with that running ability. We know that massive upside's there, and I think it could be unlocked here this week against the Rams. They have struggled against mobile quarterbacks, league high 4 rushing touchdowns allowed to this position. So yes, you can go on the high end. Don't dislike any of those guys, but give me Kyler Murray here in this spot to correlate with our Keren Williams play. All right, let's stay right there. One more play from that game. At tight end, we're rolling with Trey McBride. Arizona, a lot of injuries here in the pass catcher department. Hollywood Brown looks like he may not play this week. Michael Wilson also hurt, so plenty of options as cheap wide receiver plays for the Arizona Cardinals. But to me, the top pass catcher here is Trey McBride. Target share absolutely been elite. 8 targets per game, even with Kyler Murray back in the lineup. And a good matchup here with the Rams. And I like the spot here against the Rams. They really struggle against tight ends. We're talking bottom 10 in receiving yards, touchdowns, and fantasy points allowed to this position. McBride remains too cheap for this role right now. I think he has a big day this weekend against the LA Rams. All right, back to the running back position here. We are rolling with the big man, Derrick Henry, this weekend against the Panthers. Now, I get it. It's been ugly. It's been frustrating, but what a spot here for Derrick Henry. That time of the year where this guy starts to get it going. A lot of people have written him off. A lot of concerns here. Is he washed? Tajay Spears going to take some work away. I think that helps keep ownership to a reasonable level here. And what a spot here against the Panthers. They've given up over 100 rushing yards in 9 of 10 games this season. When they hit the road, it's even worse, giving up 146 rushing yards per game. So again, I get it. The Titans, it's been ugly, but I think we get a big dose here of Derrick Henry, who goes over 100 yards and finds the end zone twice here this week. Derrick Henry, one of my favorite running backs here in week 12. All right, value time at wide receiver up next with Rasheed Shahed of New Orleans. So roles should definitely grow here for Rasheed Shahed. Michael Thomas headed to IR. Chris Olave gets a lot of attention from opposing defenses here. And this guy always intriguing, even with Michael Thomas in the lineup. We've seen some massive games out of Shahed. Why? That big playability. This guy can get behind the defense against anybody. So slate breaker on one single play here. Atlanta been decent against wide receivers, but again, Olave going to be the focus, and they give up touchdowns, 6 most touchdowns to the wide receiver position. I think Carr and Shahed connect on a deep one here this weekend and easily pay off this low salary. All right, it's time to take a look at my favorite play for week 12. Before we do that, let's run it back on our Beast of the Week contest. Free to play. All you got to do, hit that thumbs up button and head to the comment section and guess fantasy points on DraftKings for my Beast of the Week. Whoever's got the closest guess, you're going to win a free month of RotoGrinders Premium NFL. All right, let's wrap this baby up with my favorite play for week 12. You know, Mass, Beast of the Week. All right, Beast time. We owe you one more receiver. We've saved you in a lot of spots so we could spend up on Stefon Diggs of Buffalo, this week's Beast of the Week. Now, what a spot here we get for Stefon Diggs. I think he's going to get a ton of targets in this game against this defense. Potential shootout here in this spot. And I'm guessing a lot of people aren't going to feel great about clicking his name. Been a struggle the last couple games, no doubt. But what a matchup here. No team in the NFL has given up more receptions, receiving touchdowns, or fantasy points to this position than the Philadelphia Eagles. Huge bounce back spot here. I'm calling for 30 plus for Stefon Diggs, easily my favorite play on the board in this week's Beast of the Week. All right, guys, that'll do it for week 12 here in the Fantasy Bar. As always, any comments, questions, or feedback, hit me up in that comment section right below the video. Don't forget fantasy points for Stefon Diggs on DraftKings for your shot at a free month of RotoGrinders Premium NFL. And who is your Beast of the Night? Sound off in that YouTube comment section. From RotoGrinders.com, I am Beermakersfan. Salut. Thank you so much for watching. Best of luck here in week 12, and we'll see you next week.
Hey, thanks for checking out our videos. If you want more expert advice on DraftKings, FanDuel, or any other daily fantasy sports, make sure you check out the current videos playlist.